to the 15th night of the moon. Now the image here is of these two great lights, the lunar light which dies and is resurrected, and the solar light which is independent of the vicissitudes of time. At this moment, the moon and the sun are equivalent lights. Out on the plains, on the 15th night of the moon, at the time of sunset, looking to the west, you see the sun at a moment just resting right on the horizon. And if you look then to the east, the moon will be in the same position on the eastern horizon. I've seen it twice in my lifetime, and both times mistook the moon for the sun. When lecturing on this subject in Oklahoma, I got the cry from the group of young people, so what's new? They see it every month. This is a moment of great mystical importance. Here your consciousness, your body, and its consciousness are at their prime. And you are in a position to ask yourself, who or what am I? Am I the consciousness, or am I the vehicle of consciousness? Am I this body, which is the vehicle of light, solar light, or am I the light? I once had the task of talking about these matters, talking about Buddhism, in fact, to a group of prep school boys, youngsters between the ages of about 12 and 17. And when it came to this problem of explaining what this Buddha consciousness or Christ consciousness was, I looked up the ceiling for an inspiration, and I found one. I said, look up, boys, at the ceiling, and you will see that the lights, plural, are on, or you might also say the light, singular, is on, and this is two ways of saying the same thing. In one case, you are placing emphasis on the individual bulbs. On the other, you're placing emphasis on the light. Now, in Japan, these two alternatives are called, respectively, the Jihokai and the Rihokai. Jihokai, the individual realm, Rihokai, the general. And then they say Ji, Ri, Mu, Ge, individual, general, no obstruction. Same thing. Now I say when one of those light bulbs breaks, the superintendent of buildings and grounds doesn't come in and say, well, that was my particularly favorite bulb. He takes it out, throws it away, puts another one in. What is important is not the vehicle, but the light. And I say now, looking down at all your heads, I ask myself, of what are these the vehicles? They're the vehicles of consciousness. How much consciousness are they radiating? And which are you? Are you the vehicle, or are you the consciousness? And when you identify with the consciousness, then with gratitude to the vehicle, you can let it go. O death, where is thy sting? You have identified yourself with that which is really everlasting. This consciousness that throws up forms and takes it back again, throws up forms and takes it back again. And then you can realize that you are one with the consciousness in all beings. You are one with them. And you can say, Ji, Ji, Mu, Ge. Individual, individual, no obstruction. This is the ultimate mystic experience on earth. That's the crisis here. So that's the death and resurrection here. The death and resurrection on the 8th night is to death to the infantile ego, birth to the mature. Here is death to the body, identification with the eternal aspect that lives in the body. And from then on, it's a wonderful thing to watch the body go, following the course of nature. Until the 22nd night of the moon, darkness begins to preponderate. The body becomes more and more submissive to the primary rules of the society and of nature. I remember one gentleman asked, when I was talking about this, what is it happens? I said, you'll find out soon enough. So, and then we have here these signs indicating the nuclear moment of the crisis. Temptatio, temptation, the cup of Tristan and Isolde. Not of Isolde and King Mark, the marriage arranged for by the society, but the awakening of the meeting of the eyes and the awakening of the individual destiny life and its realization. Then here, pulchritude, beauty, the glorious moment. I'm told that after the resurrection of the body, the last day, the joining of the body to the soul in heaven, we will all be 35 years old. So then we come on here to the decline and violence against yourself, holding yourself in form for the last lap. And finally, sapientia, the fruit, wisdom. Not a bad score. And so this also is part of the mythology of the body going through its inevitable course, the long body.
Campbell challenges us to ask ourselves difficult questions. Are you the vehicle of consciousness, or are you the consciousness? Joe was once asked, what does that have to do with anything, by a man who said that his life was perfectly happy without ever considering these ideas. He responded that there really was no need to think of these things ever. After all, a dog has a perfectly happy life without thinking about anything. It is, however, a dog's life. Perhaps Joe was a bit tough on this guy, but he would say to those interested in a human life that an understanding of his or her place in the world is a pressing concern. For the American Indian, this place was firmly established in an intimate relationship with the natural world, a relationship epitomized in a letter written by Chief Seattle, after whom the city of Seattle was named.